My presentation is a honeypot. What is honeypot? Is a trap for attackers. The objective of this trap is to learn how attackers behave when they access a system, what the passwords and usernames that they try, and how it is placed in the company or in our house. You put them in the firewall, but in the DMZ is screen subnet, and how it's related to the IoT program that we are doing is because I'm using a Raspberry, and so it's very cheap, and we place here in the subnet because it won't represent a risk for the company. What else?
So what do you call that area that you're putting it in?
Screen subnet, or DMZ.
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 Screen subnet is another term for DMZ.
Second step, the purpose of this I gather from the internet, discover how hackers behave, develop better defenses. I think that if you have, the company is thinking about building a strategy for their network, they can build that network in the subnet, making many hosts, and place that host in the subnet to test if their structure is secure or not. So that's, I put here canary in the mine. How you can get the IP address from the attackers. The payment industry, PCI DSS, requires some tests. HIPAA also. And also you can lure the attackers to attack this machine because they may think that it's more valuable than other assets in your company. How I built, I used the MySQL, Apache, Python, PHP, Raspberry, Curry, which is a software, Python software. And how it works, this Python software here emulate a machine. So when the attacker is trying to access a machine, is not accessing a machine, is just talking to this Curry program here. So it's not a machine, it's just a software, like a web server is a software. When you are accessing a web page, you are not talking to a machine, you are talking to a software, web server. And now when you are probing, you are talking to this guy here. Router to make the configuration, the port forward, or put the machine in DMZ. And I also using the ESXi VMware in the Raspberry. So you can put as many as possible machines inside the Raspberry. You can build a infrastructure inside the Raspberry.
We just want to pause the presentation long enough there to say this is a landmark. You got it to work? ESXi on the Raspberry?
If I got?
Did you get it to work?
Yes, it's working.
First student in my classes that got ESXi VMware to work on the Raspberry Pi. Congratulations.
Thank you. Fourth step, demonstration, features. Let's put demonstration. Here I built a web page. I copied the features, but the content, the design, I made by myself. What I'm showing here is the activity. Let me show how the attackers will try to access. The last command here, in the bottom, let me clean the. So the attackers will try send this message to the computer, which is it's a username, it's the machine address. In the case that it would be the Alton College address, and the port. That's the port that the Honeypot is listening. Then the Python software is sends this message and asking for a password. So they will try the dictionary password. I will put a password that is accepted. And boom, the guy is thinking that he accessed a Linux machine. You can type any command here. And those commands are being recorded in and placed in a MySQL database, and will be shown here. Let me see, the IP address is 232, so I change here for the 232. Here, the last attempt was 513. It's the time is off a little bit. It will change now. 523, which is almost now. And here, what this page is showing, top passwords, attempted usernames and passwords, successful combinations, username and passwords, the success ratio, addresses. Let me show another machine, because I have two machines here, and the other one I left running for many days, so we have more data. And in my house, they tried 500 times, 400 success. These are the passwords that they attempted. These are real attacks.
Password. It's still the most used password on the internet. As many times as we IT people tell our clients stop using password or let me in or 1 2 3 4, they're still using it.
Yeah.
And then they wonder, why am I hacked?
Usernames, Oracle, Postgre, Jenkins. Top successful, fail, IP addresses, it is record here.
Did I see a 45? Yeah. So 45 is from Africa somewhere.
43.
Yeah, those are African IPs.
Wow.
Be in this business long enough and investigate, and backtrace some of these IPs, and you start to recognize them by heart.
Probes per day, you can track and you can build graphs, and the clients that the attackers were using. And there is another page here showing the most common inputs, the successful inputs that the machine accepted, the Python program accepted as valid. The case here, it's the second. I have two machines running here, two Honeypot. This is the second. So here, hey boy is invalid, so it's appear as invalid. Password comments, downloads. If they tried download something to run in the machine, would appear here. We get wget comment. And here, the third tab, I put I was implementing, but I stopped to replay the attack, so it would play in real time like YouTube, the commands that the attacker was putting in the machine.
That's a common way for security experts to see what happened, and in real time you can watch it live. I love this.
Yeah, there.
I absolutely love this.
It's the most cybersecurity.
We all want to buy it.
Here is the documentation is for the user, how to use, not for how to install. To install, I get the here the documentation with screenshots from every step how to install that. So I have the documentation just for installing and for the user to use the day-to-day. The next step is to show the machine. Here is the machine. Put here. I have now two VMs, one Ubuntu and one CentOS, but here. This is the Ubuntu that is running, and here I can show you let me show you the.
So question, this ESXi is running on your Pi?
Yeah.
This really deserves 100.
No doubt.
Can you turn the
Yeah, it's
the screen?
Turn the screen, yeah?
Yes. And press the keyboard behind. Just press.
Just press the space bar?
Yeah, there. And the IP address is in the screen there.
That's awesome. So previous students have tried to get various versions. Does it say which version of ESXi that is, please? It should say like ESXi version 6.5 or...
It just says release build, that's it. Hold on, maybe, no. 2.144.7.6.7.7, just says so.
So it's 7.7. Awesome.
I have the CentOS as well here. I had suspended it
Okay.
before coming.
Sorry to interrupt. There's more presentation going on.
So that's the CentOS behind and the Ubuntu here. So both are running the same machine. I think it's that. Let me see. The user manual and the manual installation. So that's all that I have to show. No more.
Awesome. What do you think? So, wait, all right. If you feel like it, you should share the documentation and the project in Teams so that some of these enterprising fine people can make
Perfect.
one at home.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, Joel.
Thank you.
That was great.
Excellent.